I'm live. Wonderful. Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. My name's Adrian Cox. You should know that by now if you're on my YouTube channel, if you didn't know that. We are here at Gun Hill Studios. We've been here before. If you remember those times in the pandemic, seems like such a long time ago, but we did lots of live streams, and we did 2 or 3 from here, which were just fantastic, and it's worked out that we can be here this evening, and I am delighted to be here with my trio, with Alex Gilson on double bass, all the way from Paris. We've got a live studio audience, you can clap him. This is Alex Gilson right here, all the way from Paris. And on the guitar, and singing to you later, he's all the way from New Zealand. He didn't fly in this morning, but now living in London. The one and only Honey Boulton right here, folks. And we are presenting a concert that we've been on tour. We've just come back from New Zealand, all over the place. It's been, we've had a wonderful time traveling the world presenting this concert called Making Runs. Making Runs celebrates all our favorite music out in New Orleans, celebrates all the great composers, the great musicians, the great characters. We'll tell you more as we go along. But we're going to start this concert with a tune, like we always do. It's called Kinklets, which was written by a man called Arthur Marshall in 1906. But I'll tell you more about that in a second. Kinklets. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break for about an hour. No. That was a tune called The Eccentric Rag, which was first recorded by a band called the New Orleans Rhythm Kings in 1922, I believe. And as I said, the first tune that we started with was one called Kinklets, which was written by a man called Arthur Marshall. Now, I knew nothing about Arthur Marshall when we put this program of music together, and in researching him, found out he was a pianist and composer. And when he was growing up in the family home, somebody came to stay when he was 15 years old, and that was somebody called Scott Joplin. So he got very good at piano very, very quickly. You will notice there is an absolute masterpiece right behind us, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about in a bit. But yeah, we're speechless. But there's a wonderful story behind it, which I will tell you. Anyway, this concert, Making Runs, people say, where does Making Runs come from? Well, Making Runs was a phrase attributed to a man called Buddy Boulton. Now, Buddy Boulton was known as the father of jazz. He was a cornet player. Unfortunately, he was never, ever recorded. But there was a wonderful interview with a man called Bunk Johnson, who was a trumpet player from New Orleans. And in that interview, it was the first time anyone had ever really spoken about how Buddy Boulton played. And he would talk about, he would always do these tunes where it would be the same chord sequence, but he would just be making it up, being creative, just making up new melodies, new things. And Buddy Boulton would just call it Making Runs, and Bunk Johnson would do a version of it. And there's you should listen on YouTube and things to the interview. It's wonderful. He whistles how Buddy Boulton used to play. And so we're going to play our version of Making Runs. How about that? Making Runs? Yeah. Making Runs. It's a good little tune to play, isn't it? When you put together a program of music about New Orleans, we feel very privileged to play this music, and it's wonderful it was all recorded. And the great thing is there's such a wonderful program of music that you can choose from, and you cannot miss out one of the greatest ever, a man called Jelly Roll Morton. Now, Jelly Roll Morton claimed to have invented jazz. Tells you a bit about him, really. But I tend to agree with him because he wrote all the greatest tunes. So fantastic. And in my humble opinion, this is the best one that he wrote, and we're going to play it for you now. This is called The Pearls. The Pearls. That's a good tune. The Pearls, written by Jelly Roll Morton. So Jelly Roll Morton had an incredible career. He was a pianist. He was a lyricist. He did some of the most wonderful things ever. He worked with so many different people. Everyone worked with him. Some of my favourite clarinet players worked with him. He also recorded a thing called the Library of Congress, which was set up by Alan Lomax in 1938, where he literally sat at the piano and he gave a whole history of New Orleans and the music, literally what was going on in the city, all the different influences, all the different cuisines, all the naughty stuff that was going on, literally everything. And he talks about the music and he categorizes his music within that. And he said there were 3 categories. He said there were stomps, so the Pearls is a stomp. He said there were blues and also a thing, the Spanish tinge. He said it was very important that the music had the Spanish tinge. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a sec. But we're going to do a blues that he wrote and one that he sang. I'm going to sing it for you. And this is a tune called Why. Now won't you kindly tell me why you leave me high and dry and you give all of the other boys your attention, dear? I want you near me, oh honey, to hear me. Well, it would be so awfully pleasing if you were to stop the teasing, oh, and if you do, well, I will be true through and through. Now why are you so captivating, and tell me why are you so aggravating? And for me, why must I go on waiting patiently? Well, a lot of kissing, oh, I have been missing. And how I love to hear the words, oh, that you once whispered to me. Why won't you kindly tell me why? That's a lovely tune. Jelly Roll Morton wrote all the good tunes. It's a beautiful tune called Why. Also, a man called Leon Redbone. I think he had a hit with it. I don't know how popular it was. No one seems to have ever heard of it. But he did record it. He definitely did. So Jelly Roll Morton said there was needed to have, the music had to have the Spanish tinge. It had to have those Latin American feels, all that kind of stuff going on. The stuff that makes the music groove. And he would write many tunes like that. And one he wrote, which was dedicated to a lady, he fell in love. It said he fell in love. He said that he married a lady called Anita Gonzalez, although it was never recorded that they were married. And she owned a hotel, and I was reading something about it. I don't know how true this is, so anyone who wants to fact check me, fine. But do it in your own time, not right now. Leave it in the comments. And basically, yeah, he fell in love with her. She had a hotel in Hollywood, which was called Anita's. And there's a rumor that he was so in love with her that he would go down, and he's someone who wouldn't normally lower himself to do those kind of jobs, as he would say. And he would actually go down and do anything that she needed. He was completely in love. But he then found out that she wasn't actually called Anita Gonzalez, and she was actually called Bessie Johnson. And she was from Alabama. Was Alabama, wasn't it? Yeah. So, but anyway, he wrote a wonderful tune dedicated to her. And you'll hear the Spanish tinge in this. It's called Mama Nita. Anita, Mamanita. You can hear the Spanish tinge in that one, Mamanita. Yes, boys. Folks, I hope you're having a wonderful time at home, wherever you're watching from. We were just working out where people might be watching from. Put it in the comments where you are watching from. We were hoping there were some people from New Zealand, but we just realised that it would be very, very early in the morning. So, yeah, your family should be watching.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mum. Yeah. So, folks, I need to tell you about this car right behind me, right behind us. It's the most beautiful car that you'll see. It's a 1927 Bentley 3-litre boat tail speed model. And do you know what? It's one of one. You will never, ever see another one of these. And when we walked in this afternoon, as we're walking in, because I've seen photos which blew me away, but as I walked in, and we spent a lot of time just stood by it going, oh my gosh, what you can't really take it in. And I know you'll be watching it and seeing it going, oh my gosh. But you have to see it in real life to totally appreciate it. And it's absolutely incredible. Now, there is a wonderful story behind this. Many of you know that I was born in Sussex. I grew up in Sussex. And I was taught by a clarinetist called Jack Gilbert, which is a wonderful connection between myself and Rupert from Gun Hill, because he played with Jack Gilbert so much, and so there was a wonderful connection there. And Rupert was at Hampton Court at a car show, the big one, and where the Bentley won, actually, of course. And the wonderful story that came behind this is that this car was bought by a man called Chris Jakes. Now, Chris Jakes was the clarinetist with a band called the New City Jazzmen. Now, when I was growing up, my dad, on a Monday night and every other night of the week that we could get out to go and watch jazz, we would go and watch the New City Jazzmen, and it was one of the bands that I used to sit in with when I was 12, 13 years old. And Chris Jakes, a most wonderful clarinetist and such a kind man, he would always say, are you coming up? He would ask me first, have you got your clarinet? Yes. Are you coming in for a sit-in? And the rule is that you sit in for 3. So he would get up and he would let me sit in with the band. I'd do 2 tunes and then he would come and join us. And it was a wonderful thing, and it's a huge part of my upbringing and learning of playing this music. And I'm so thankful for those days. Now, when Rupert was at Hampton Court, he meets the owner of this car and the family, the Jakes family. Sees Emmett and the family, who, unfortunately, when Chris got this car and started the restoration job on it, unfortunately he passed away, so he wasn't able to see the finished, this beautiful finished, I don't know how you say it, masterpiece. But it was Julian Parker and who did the restoration job on it and done the most fantastic job on it. And it was Emmett and the family that made sure that this car was finished to exactly how it would be and exactly how Chris would have wanted it to be. And it's actually quite emotional to be around this car knowing that Chris had bought this and it was his last restoration job, and here we are, you know, with the finished product, and Emmett and the family and Julian for making sure that this is the most stunning piece ever, and Chris would have just been over the moon with it. He might not have shown it. He was a very, very modest man and always very, you know, he would have turned out all right, didn't it? You know, but it's an absolute, it's wonderful to be around. It feels very emotional, and we're so pleased that, Emmett, you were able to bring it down here, and to Rupert, and how you two have met and everything that's happened from that. So well done for getting the Bentley in here, and we feel so privileged to be playing in front of Chris's car. Do you know what I mean? And so a round of applause for the Bentley, everybody. I don't really know how you can follow that, but we will, because Honey Boulton is going to sing you a tune. I have just been, give me 1 second, I haven't got my glasses on, Emma. Oh my gosh, is that what that said? Wow. Where did you say people are watching from? Germany? Iran?
New Zealand?
New Zealand?
Very early start, New Zealand.
Very early start. Well done, New Zealand. You've done Vegas. Hastings. Hey, Hastings. Anyone from France?
There was a DuPont.
There we go. Wonderful. Well, I'm so pleased. Well, we hope you're enjoying it. We're having a wonderful time. We are going to get Honey Boulton to sing you a tune now. And this is one that we've just recorded on our new album that's coming out in July. There you go, little plug. We're doing an album launch at Pizza Express Jazz Club on the 26th of July. If you haven't got your tickets, get in quick because it's nearly sold out. But it's not. You just say that. It depends when you're watching this. You might be watching it after we've done it. However, folks, we recorded this tune. It was written by the wonderful Lil Hardin. Lil Hardin, pianist, composer, singer. She married Louis Armstrong. What could be better than that? This is a beautiful tune that Honey brought to the table, and it's called Bluer Than Blue.
Singing a love song that's bluer than blue. I lost a friend I thought truer than true, without any warning. Since yesterday morning, I'm king of the blues. My eyes are all glassy, but I've not had a drink. Spent 24 hours just trying to think. Why would she leave me? Why would she leave me? Bluer than blue. It's like a disease, makes you grieve, lose all ambition, have run down condition. My mind is insane, my heart is aflame. I love her so, oh yes I know. No other love song will I ever sing. Blues in my heart, they will always ring. Why would she leave me? Why would she leave me? Bluer than blue. Like a disease, it makes you grieve, lose all ambition, have run down condition. My mind is insane, my heart is aflame. I miss her so, oh yes I know. No other blues song will I ever sing. Blues in my heart, they will always ring. Why would she leave me? Why would she leave me? Bluer than blue.
How about that, Honey Boulton?
Yeah, Honey. That's a song called Bluer Than Blue. Oh my gosh. Paris! Hey, somebody's watching from Paris. Good evening. From I bet that's your mum. Hello, mum. Bluer Than Blue. That's a great tune. I love that tune. It's a great one. We're going to play a tune for you. This is called Panama. It used to be called Panama, a characteristic novelty. There you go. They took that bit off. Panama. There you go, folks. Somebody just put their hand up. Hey, do you know what? Yes. I'm just literally about to speak about Sidney Bechet. Sidney Bechet influenced so many people, and we're not going to play a Sidney Bechet tune at this moment. We will do one later, don't you worry. But it was Sidney Bechet's birthday on Wednesday. I forgot about it because it was my girlfriend's birthday. That was more important at the time, of course. I remembered the next day. But Sidney Bechet influenced so many people, and somebody, when researching for this concert, there was a tune I wanted to play, which was Rent Party Blues. And the saxophone on that sounds exactly like Sidney Bechet, but it's actually Johnny Hodges. Now, Johnny Hodges was the saxophone player with Duke Ellington for what seemed like his whole life. And I didn't realise how much connection that Johnny Hodges had actually had with New Orleans. And he had lessons with Sidney Bechet as well. He loved Bechet, spoke to him, said that he was the master and everything. In his book, he holds Sidney Bechet in such high esteem. And we're going to do this tune that Johnny Hodges recorded. Johnny Hodges wrote it with Ellington and Billy Strayhorn. There's a tune called Rent Party Blues. It's worth it just for that bit. You know what I mean? I say that every single night we're on tour, and Alex loves that bit, so I thought I had to keep that in for the live streamers. You know. You're right, Alex. Still got it? Blues. There you go. Rent Party Blues. That's a good tune. I like that one. I'll tell you what, it's so wonderful to be back at Gun Hill Studios. I always love coming here. I feel so at home here, and it's such a wonderful place to play, isn't it? So it's your first time here. You've been here before, but nobody knew about it. Yeah, not with a Bentley behind us. Duke Ellington, talking about Duke Ellington. So Duke Ellington always had an element of New Orleans in his band, and one of the most important jazz clarinetists ever was a man called Barney Biggard. Barney Biggard, born in New Orleans, 1906. He played with Jelly Roll Morton, Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong. If you're a jazz clarinetist, that's a pretty good career. And he was the most fantastic clarinetist. And when he left Duke Ellington's band, which was in 1942, he was living in Hollywood. He was playing with people like Kid Ory and stuff like that. But he was also going in and recording on some of the soundtracks in Hollywood. And he got inspired by that kind of cinematic kind of way of writing. He teamed up with people like Roger Kay, the great string arranger. However, he wrote a tune along with Ellington and Strayhorn, very cinematic type thing. We hope you enjoy it. This is called Lament for Javanette. meant for Chabonet. Well, now, I ain't going to give you none of my jelly roll. Well, I wouldn't give you one piece, well, not even to save my soul. Well, my mother asked me, oh, just the other day, oh, now before she moved away. She said, now, son, you stay at home, oh, you be a good little boy. Yeah, your mama's gonna buy you a brand new toy. Well, now, there's no use, well, in you sitting and you hanging around. Well, 'cause if you do, well, I will only turn you down, oh, down. Now see my jelly roll, well, it's so sweet. Yeah, we'll never ever be beat. Now I know that you want it, well, but you can't have it, and I ain't gonna give you none. That's true, you know. She said, now son, you stayed home. Oh, you be a good little boy. Yeah, 'cause mommy's gonna buy you a brand new toy. Well, there's no use. Yeah, there's no use in you sitting and you hanging around. Hanging around. Well, 'cause if you do, yeah, I will only turn you down. Oh, down. See my jelly roll. Well, it's so hot. Well, it's something that you're not, and I know that you want it. Well, but you can't have it, and I ain't gonna give you none. Shadows fall, trees whisper day is ending, while my thoughts are ever wending home. And when the crickets call, well, my heart is forever yearning once more to be returning home. And when the hills conceal or the setting sun, and all these stars, will they begin to peep? Oh, one by one, yeah, one by one. Well, the night, it covers all, And although fortune may forsake me, sweet dreams will ever take me home. How about that? What a beautiful tune. That's a tune called Home. Hey folks, I really hope you've had a good time this evening, and I'm so pleased that so many of you have tuned in live. Looking forward to watching back and looking at all your comments. I hope they're nice comments. They might not be. Studio audience, have you had a good time this evening? Yeah. Wonderful. So when we're on tour, and what we say is, I say, hey everybody, this is going to be the last tune, but we will play another one after it. So what I'm going to do is say, this is our last tune, and then you all go, oh. And then when we finish, you go more, and you guys are in charge of the more, and then we'll do another tune. So there are going to be 2 tunes. However, this is the last tune for the evening. Oh. There we go. Well, I'm glad you've had a good time. I don't know if you have or not. If you haven't, we've had a great time, so don't worry. Please show your appreciation for the guys working extremely hard for you this evening. This man right here, all the way from Paris. I'm so pleased that we're working together now. He joined the band at the start of January, at the start of the year, and we just have the best time on the road. His bass playing, you don't get better, and it's just so much fun, and we have the best time. Just, you know, every night we have so much fun, and his bass playing just gets better and better, and I can't believe it every night. It's the one and only Mr. Alex Gilson right here. And the man right over here who was playing guitar and singing to this evening. At the start of 2024, I did a concert just down the road from here at Stenning Jazz Club, and it was the first time that we had worked on a public show together, and it was great, and I had so much fun, and at the end of the show I got back. I remember going back to Sweden and saying to my girlfriend, going, oh, I've met this guitarist, he's absolutely incredible. I said, I've got to work with him more. And so I thought, what I do is each year I go, right, what am I going to put together for next year? What's the next project? What's the next thing? And so I wrote a message to Honey and I said, hey, look, I'm thinking of putting together a trio, a really tight-knit trio. We play New Orleans music, we get completely obsessive about it. We'll go on tour, we'll travel all around the world, and we'll have an absolutely lovely time. Does that sound like something you'll be up for? And he wrote back the text message, said, yeah, absolutely perfect, sounds like my ideal. And that's what we're doing now, is traveling around. And it's just an absolute pleasure and joy to work with this man every night. My favourite, one and only Honey Boulton right here. And let's have a round of applause, everybody, for, I have to tell you that I had a concert, we had a concert cancelled for this evening. And then I got in touch with Rupert and I said, hey, Rupert, I've had a concert cancelled. What should we do? He said, right, immediately come down. We'll do a live stream. Okay, brilliant. And here we all are. And I can't tell you the lengths that Rupert and the whole team here at Gun Hill go to just to make everything look and sound so fantastic. And as soon as you walk in here, everything you do in life feels completely valued. It feels qualified, and you feel so special. And it's every time, and myself and Rupert and the team, we go back a long way. And everything you always do for me and keep supporting me it's not taken lightly, and it's love all the way. So a big round of applause for Gun Hill Studios, everybody. And how about a round of applause for this fantastic Bentley? You'll never see another one like it, because there isn't another one. And it's just, the history behind this. And there's another wonderful thing is that Emmett, Chris's son, is actually here. He's celebrating his 17th wedding anniversary tonight with Jill. And it's just wonderful that on their wedding day, the New City Jazzmen with Chris played at that wedding. And so they played there, and here we are 17 years on with the finished product of a restoration that he started. And unfortunately didn't get to see the end of it, but we all get to see it, and we all love it and cherish it. And Emmett and the family and Julian and everything you've done to make sure that this car was finished to what your dad would have loved. You should give yourself every pat on the back, because and happy wedding anniversary, by the way. Well remembered. Hey folks, so we got time for one more tune. No, you meant no, that's the bit where you go, oh. Unless you want to go, it's fine. No, we got time for one more tune. There you go. Now, from New Orleans, there's a clarinetist, there's a man, he's older than all of the lot we've been talking about. He's a man called Alphonse Picou, and there's a tune that traditional jazz bands all around the world are playing. It's a tune called High Society, and the clarinet solo was taken from a piccolo solo on the original March version, and it was Alphonse Picou who took that piccolo solo and he put it to clarinet. He was born, I think, in 1878. Does that sound right, Alex? I don't know why I'm looking at you, but he looks like the kind of person that would know that. 1878. And the best thing about this is there is a clip on YouTube. On YouTube, there's a clip of Alphonse Picou playing High Society, and when it comes to this clarinet solo, he turns round and he tells all the band, be quiet, it's my bit. And this little old man stands up and he plays the most beautiful clarinet. It's just his heart and soul pouring out the end of the clarinet. And I've got goosebumps thinking about it now. You should definitely go and watch it. It's on YouTube. You don't have to search very far. He wasn't uploading that much content. Alphonse Picou, High Society. So we're going to close this concert, this live stream here from Gun Hill Studios. There will be one more. With High Society. Thank you very much, folks. for the camera here. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Hey, more? Did somebody say more? There you go. I can hear you all screaming at home. I can hear that. Hey, folks, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in on a Saturday night. Or Sunday morning. Yeah, very true. Well done, honey. And Sunday morning. Thank you for tuning in around the world. Please give this a share. And also, if you would like to donate to this concert, you certainly can do that. It's very helpful for everything, as you can imagine. We've got to pay for this Bentley. You can do that at paypal.me/Adrian Cox Music. Folks, one more time. Honey Boulton on the guitar, Alex Gilson on the double bass, myself, Adrian Cox on the clarinet. Thank you so much to Gun Hill Studios for having us here. It's always a real pleasure to be here. Emmett, thanks for making sure the car was here. Yeah, thank you very much, folks. It's been wonderful to do a live stream. Can we do another one soon, Rupert? Of course. Rupert. Trouble with Rupert is he says yes to everything. Well, no, it's a good thing on my behalf. Anyway, folks, it was Sidney Bechet's birthday on Wednesday. There was a request to play some Sidney Bechet, and of course, we will take this concert out in my best French accent. We're going to take this out with Si tu vois ma mère. Is that right? Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching. All in. folks, the Adrian Cox Trio. Hardy Boulton on guitar, Alex Gilson double bass, myself, Adrian Cox. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you.